person I've seen in there is probably like 70, 78, 79, you know, literally walking with a walker, barely moving. And they got him in 130, 140 degree box that's like an oven.
Crime talk 369, prison stories on the line, New York rhythm in the spine. If you did it or you didn't, you gon' feel it in this rhyme.
Oh man, I seen a dude. I'm on the third tier. I'm on the third tier, and they got this stuff called Tuni. It's called Tuni in there. And it's that K2 stuff. Well, homeboy hits it, and he gets the flopping. Boom, boom. Remember, I'm on the third tier, so there's the first, second, and third, right? And you got rows of cells. But there's only one bar every like 8 foot, right? With a row of bars. Well, homeboy hits that Tuni, falls out, boom, and then rolls off the third tier and hits the floor. Boom, they take him to medical. He's back 20 minutes later, hitting it again. The doctor said since he was unconscious, he didn't tense up for the hit, so nothing happened to him. I was like, what?
How crazy is the drug situation in there? What are the main drugs that they be having in like the Texas prisons?
Oh man, I know they got Tune. I don't know nothing about really anything else. I'm not too sure. You know, it's been I got out parole 2 years ago in October.
We've been out about the same time.
Yes,
I got out about 2 years ago.
I ain't going back. You hear me? And you already got this going? Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. Good job, man. Good job.
So what was the biggest adjustment getting out?
All of it, bro. All of it, because you go from having to watch your back all the time, you know, to going, okay, look, so I don't like a crowd of people. So like I got out, my mom's like, let's go to Walmart or something, you know? So I'd go into Walmart and I can't breathe. I'm having an anxiety attack, you know what I'm saying? Because there's so many people like behind you or beside you, like don't stand behind me, you know what I'm saying? So my prison mentality stayed with me for a good, well, I still wash my drawers in the shower, bro. It's horrible, but I still
do that sometimes too.
For real. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy you say that. I'm the same way when I go to Walmart. For some reason, I think everybody's staring at me. I think the camera's on me.
It's because they are. It's because it's the tattoos on our face, man. And it's crazy because I'll be walking to get lunch meat or something, and you see somebody peek around the corner. I'm like, I'm not taking nothing, dog, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
I told my viewers the same thing. I was like, man, I'll be walking on the sidewalk, and somebody be coming down the sidewalk. They'll go across the road to avoid me.
Yeah, they think you finna draw down and pull something on them. You know what I'm saying? I don't want your Tommy Hilfiger watch, bro. I'm not a threat.
Have the tattoos negatively affect you?
I love my tattoos, jobs, bro. Oh, to get jobs? See, I'm a roughneck by trade, bro. I work in the oil field, but that's just way too much labor, and so I'm really starting my own stuff. So I think the tattoos, man, I see police with tattoos now. They're really getting to the point where like judges are about to have them, you know? So I don't really think that the tattoos are a thing. I think that our placement, like on our face and stuff, I think that scares people kind of because it's very intimidating they're like, but I got my whole head hit. I got, you know, my face, I'm hit, you know? Yeah, you're pretty hit too. Catching people side-eyeing you. And I'm like, what are they looking at? They're like, probably your tattoos on your face. I'm like, yeah, you're probably right, bro. I'm not going to freak out. You're probably right. What are you looking at, bro? Right.
That they show on TV about prison and jail. What are some things they get completely wrong?
That they show on TV?
Yeah, in movies and all that.
All of it, bro. Well, movies, they do the 3-tier thing in movies pretty good, but like the simple fact of like nowadays the whole like the American Me stuff, I've never really seen that. I've seen like on the rec yard, like where I've been, ain't no rec yard. You can't put no pole in no ground because it's all concrete. You know what I mean? They all the rec yards are concrete. I've never been to one with a grass rec yard, so they're lying about that part. But as for like the beef and stuff, no, that's the hate is real in there for real. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. It definitely is. What was your least favorite tray in there?
All of them.
All of them.
Pancakes, man. I still won't eat a pancake. I won't eat pancakes. I can't stand green beans no more. Down here in the green beans, they got rocks that you'll mess around, take a bite of green beans and have a rock in it. Break your tooth. You're like, damn, see, look, you know what I mean? Break your tooth. The food's horrible. I don't like any of the trays. I ain't ever going back. You hear me?
I heard in Texas, they have, race wars. Have you seen one of those?
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen riots. I've seen many a riot. That's where I seen homeboy get banged up with a lock in a sock, and of course it wasn't over color. It was over religion, and that's crazy.
Can you start from the beginning? What started it?
Okay, we just racked down for the night, and it's like midnight, something like that, and they start talking about religion. The thing is Jesus came up, and then the law came up, and I'm like, what are y'all? This is, and he's like, say something one more time about Christianity. Say something one more time, and he's messed up that homeboy's talking about Christianity. So he puts his lock in his sock, and he's about to run at homeboy, and they start getting it, boom, 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 and then it becomes a race thing because it's a black dude and a white dude. Then it becomes a race thing, and before you know it, you got this dude. Them fold out tables. Homeboy gets the table, and he's in his drawers, and he gets the table. And he runs at like five convicts, right? And like 3 laws. And he's running, he jumps on this other table and slides. And as he's sliding, he throws the table that he's holding at him and almost hits him. Well, they hit him with the bear spray, all in his eyes, all in everything. So he goes to run and he jumps in the shower. We're all just getting it. Everybody's just fighting, you know what I mean? And the police are really they got their eyes trained on this guy because he's out of his mind. It's one big room, okay, where the beds are, okay, and they got them stacked like this, and then you have your bathroom, and then you have and you can go to the bathroom from right here, but over this way there's another door, and that's your rec room, not your rec room, but the.
Are you talking about the day room?
Yeah, my bad, the day room, yeah. So homeboy runs and gets to the shower board. There in the day room, there's a wall that's about this high, and they don't see this other dude. He's literally He's laying on the ground, bro, and he's kicking this guy in the face, making his head hit the wall that's up. And it's maybe like them bricks that chip real easy, but it's just bang, boom, boom, and homeboy's head's just splattering, bow, bow, bow. They shanked him twice, bro. And I'm talking about with a pick, bro. I'm talking about a sword, bro. It's like this big. And they hit him twice, and it didn't really stab because it was too thick, you know what I mean? But it ripped. It ripped, man. And he's just bleeding out, bro. It's horrible, horrible, horrible. I don't wish that on anybody, man.
So how did it end? Did they get control of the jail?
Oh yeah, Wasp Nest. They busted a wasp nest in the pod, bro. And what that is, it's a ball that explodes and it has a bunch of iron balls inside of it. Boom! When it explodes, they shoot everywhere. And they'll hit you, boom. So that's how they got it under control. 2 wasp nests and some gas, bro, and everybody laid down. Yeah.
Man, everybody laid down. Hit by one of those, man. You get hit. I
was underneath my rack. No. I shimmied in between my rack because I already knew what was coming, bro. I had my shirt wrapped around my face, dipped in water, so I didn't, because it's horrible, man. That gas, you'll be snotting, drooling, tearing up. It's horrible, bro. Yeah, and then if you're underneath, because I was by the wall, and since I was underneath, I know one of them steel balls that ain't gonna hit me. You know what I mean? It's horrible.
What happens if a race war happens and you don't join in with your race? Do you get disciplined?
It depends. It depends on if you're riding solo or you're in it. It all depends how firm you stand on your own 10 toes, I guess.
Have you witnessed people dying in there?
I've seen some bad stuff. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, I've seen. I ain't never seen nobody like straight up just run up on somebody and like slit them. No. I've seen people die though from like the excess heat, or you know what I mean. I've seen people be highly injured from fighting and stuff, but die. I've only seen that one time I was telling you about the puppet thing where homeboy, yeah, he killed him. And mostly heat, like it's horrible, man. It's so hot in there, But yeah, old people. I've seen an old dude have a heart attack and die. That was very sad. It's horrible. Yeah.
How do they treat elderly people, old people? How do they treat them in jail, in prison?
They don't care. They don't care, bro. If they don't care. You know what I mean? And it's heartbreaking, bro, because I mean they're old, bro. Like I've seen the oldest person I've seen in there is probably like 70, 78, 79, literally walking with a walker, barely moving. And they got him in 130, 140 degree box that's like an oven. That's not right to me. You know what I mean? They should have him in like they should have the older people in like a medical place where they can live. You know what I mean? Because that's the requirements of living in a TDC facility are too extreme for an old person, in my opinion.
How easy is it to get drugs in there?
Fly a kite. That's all you gotta do. Fly a kite, bro. That's it.
Now the people on the drugs, like, you know, the drugs in there, they cost a lot more money than they do on the streets.
Yeah,
Have you
yeah.
seen people like, you know, ruin relationships with their family over drugs and just
100%. 100%. Yeah. I've seen a dude go in debt with another dude, $900 on paper, bro. On just paper that's sprayed with chemicals. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me.
That's like, you know, it's selling paper, man.
But the thing is steadily let him do it. Just so he can be in their pocket. So really he's creating his own drama, and you just might die over a piece of paper, dog. It's horrible. Yeah. Crazy.
What about gambling in there?
Man, you bet, man. There's so much gambling. You're gonna bet on if the grass grew or not. I bet you a soup the grass grew. You know what I'm saying? You gambling on everything. Everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything is a gamble. You know, everything. When I say everything, is, hey man, I bet you he walks to the door in 10 minutes. No, I got 5 minutes. You know, everything's a gamble in there. For real.
Would you say that's a lot of that's the way everybody gets hurt, gambling too?
Man, hey, look, man, because you don't pay what you owe. It's just like anybody else. You gonna catch that fade. But at the same time, when you're bored, and you got you know what I'm saying, you need something to do. So I mean, there's different kind of gamblings. Like they also gamble for like you daddies and Madonnas and all sorts of stuff. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because they don't have no money, but they'll do you daddy. So if they lose, he's like, who got the sweetest thing on the farm? And the homeboy got to scream, you do, daddy. You know, it's crazy. But they bet over everything. Yeah.
You said you were in segregation. How was that?
I was in seg. Yeah. So I got into it and codified the blue door. They arrested me and I went to jail. While I was in prison, I went to jail. But that's what they call you going to jail means you're going to seg. Well, I went to seg, and when you get J4 or G4, you're in seg with other people. So there was like 1, 2, 3, there was like 6 other people in a cell with me. Now, administrator said, that's when you're by yourself. Like they don't let you, you're locked up 23, you know what I'm saying, 23 hours a day, and you get out 1 hour a day if you're lucky. And whenever you take a shower, they'll come by, you got to step back to the door. Let them put the cuffs on you, lift up your foot. They'll put a chain on you, lift up your other foot. They'll put a chain on you. Then you walk back up, and then they'll let you out. And then you got to walk to the shower, take a shower, and then they take you back to your cell, uncuff you, unchain you, and then you go back in your cell for another 3 days.
Yes. So when you were in there, did you lose people on the outside? Like they weren't there for you?
I had a couple people there for me. There's been times that I didn't hear from nobody, you know what I mean? And then when I did hear from somebody, it wasn't somebody that I think that I would hear from. And so that really shocks you. You're like, golly, man, I ain't heard from you in this whole time down. But whenever you get out, it's, I love you. Well, I don't feel like you do. You know what I mean? But that's, you're the one that got locked up, not them. You know what I mean? So really you can't blame them for, your trials and tribulations or your the stuff that you did wrong, so to hold animosity towards them for your mess up would be, I don't know, juvenile to me, I guess.
Do you ever have a good day in prison? Has there ever been a good day?
Oh yeah, you gotta strive for them good days. You know what I mean? You gotta strive for them good days. And if you don't, you make it a good day, because the only thing you have to work on is your mind and your body and your soul, man. You know what I mean? Stick to yourself, read, learn as much knowledge as you can. And don't just work this mind, work, you know what I'm saying? Work your body, you know what I mean? And just come out. If you do have to go down that road, go in better than come out better than what you came in, you know what I mean? And just because you ain't gonna forget that time you did. I promise you that. You ain't gonna forget that. That scars into you like a bad sear, man. It just yeah, man. I ain't going back. That's It's horrible, bro. It's horrible. I ain't going back.
Oh yeah, I asked everybody this. People on the outside, they talk about booty bandits and stuff like that. Does that really happen in there?
Bro, I whenever we first started the interview, I was I was at Beat 01 and I walk in and I'm an ad seg. The thing is they pop the lock, they'll pop doors, you know what I'm saying? They'll run into each other's and get it, boom, whatever. Well, as soon as I walked into this pod, bro, all I hear is no means no, please stop, don't, it hurts, let go. And then crying. And then so yeah, it happens in there, but at the same time, there's undercover, people that act one way but are really another, and it's a whole different world in there, you know what I mean? A whole messed up world, man. For real, it's crazy.
Asking that question to so many people, what I gathered from that is, in some places it happens, and in other places it doesn't happen. It just depends on where you're at.
Yeah. I mean, dude, mostly what it is dudes got boyfriends. You know what I'm saying? They're gay for the stay is what you call it. And or they'll say it ain't gay if it's your hustle. I'm like, that's the gayest thing I ever heard, bro. But to each their own, bro. I ain't hating on nobody. If that's who you are, that's who you are. Just don't be running around graping people, you know what I mean? Because you don't do that,
What's for the future?
Ascending, baby. Walking my path with the Most High, ascending. There's a lot coming out, bro. I'm working on a whole lot right now. Music. I'm working on the podcast channel. I'm stacking my wisdom up, bro. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. I got a lot of work in the mix right now, and I'm just waiting for all of it to come together, bro. Waiting on God to say it's time, bud,
Yeah, man. The youth need to hear that, man. They need to hear your stories and what you got to say, man. They really do.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Where can people find you at if they, if they love your stories and they want to see more of you? I'm
on TikTok. Hey, look, you should check out my TikTok. You should, for real. I'm on Facebook. I really don't. I'm about to be on YouTube. Starting at Forged in Flame or Forged in Fire. Yeah, or you can just get at me, whatever.
What's your name on TikTok?
My name on TikTok is Thrice Grim Raider. I seen this thing on your thing. It says Forged in Fire. Yeah, that's weird because I came up with that, and that's podcast that I'm gonna be doing. I've already written the first storyline for it, and it's what it's about is the pain that we've went through. So more or less, I call it the furnace. We're putting the furnace and forged like steel to become better people. You know what I mean? And that's God's doing. And yeah, that's what I'm coming up with. I just gotta get it all lined together. And I write songs. I do all sorts of stuff, man. I just need to get my head right on this type. Maybe I can hit you up and we can figure something out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
No problem, man.
To the youngsters that are in the fire right now, it's like I want to call it. Y'all are worth it, man. Y'all live y'all's best lives. The streets, it ain't it, bro. Where it's at is wisdom. Learn as much as you can. And don't let nobody tell you can't, because nothing is impossible. Anything is possible. Flex your mind, bro. Y'all can do this. I love y'all so much, man. And y'all keep y'all's head up. Stay free, baby. Stay free.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on and doing this interview, man.
Yes, sir.
If you want to come back for a part 2, we can do that, man.
For sure, man. Just hit me up, baby. Just hit me up, Bubba.